Welcome to Cru. Cru is a community of believers on campus with the hope that Jesus will captivate hearts, transform lives, and then send men and women into a lifelong relationship with Him. And so when we say captivate hearts, we mean, think about a movie or a book that's been really interesting to you. Perhaps, well, I was going to say Twilight, that's not relevant. What's the next one? Hunger Games? There we go. Think of Hunger Games. Most girls and boys, actually, I would say, were captivated by this series of books because it had an interesting plot. They had cute boys. Maybe the girls like that better than boys. But anyway, and then, Katniss is awesome because she just kicks butt. And so you guys were really captivated by this storyline. And in the same way, Jesus captivates our hearts, not by kicking butt necessarily, but by love. And that doesn't matter where you are either. You could have never heard of Jesus before. You could have a relationship with Him for the past 25 years. It doesn't matter. Jesus meets you where you are. And so we hope that this year, if you decide to stick around and come to our meetings and come to our Bible studies, we can come alongside you and help you develop in that relationship with the Lord. So we're really glad that you're here. If this is your first time, welcome. If it's not your first time, welcome back. We're glad to have you all the same. So I have a short story tonight just because we're going to be playing a game later that will take more time. And so this is our second week of classes, right? Yeah. Maybe some of yours, it's the first because you skipped all your classes the first week. But most of us, it's the second week. And so I'm sure you guys have had time to kind of scope out your classrooms and find that person. And that's a very vague term, but I will describe it. So that person can be a number of different people, but he or she stands out based on actions that they do. And so, for instance, in one of my classes, and this is going to be really awkward if he's in the audience, so I apologize. But in my class, it's a history class, and the other day we were talking about 8,000 BC Sumar. And all of you were just like, so we're not going to talk about Sumar, don't worry about it. But we were talking about it in class, and my teacher asked, it's just like, all right, so what thing did the Sumerians have that gave them an advantage over all of their peers? And so this guy's hand went up in the back, and he was just like, the spear, or something. This is not related, but like the spear. And my teacher's just like, no, it's a good guess, but no. Anybody else? And he immediately goes back up, just like, the wheel. And he's like, no, it's another good thought, but not so much. Anybody else? He's like, what about the chariot? My teacher's like, no, it's not the chariot. You were closer on the first guess, or the second one. And he's just like, cherry cheesecake! And then so at this point, I just turn around, just like, dude, you're doing that thing again. Where you're opening your mouth and saying stupid things. Annoying me. And so it's just like, you got to this point where he was just ridiculous with his answers. And so does anybody have anyone like that in their class? Who's just constantly, or here's another one. Again, guys, I'm so sorry if this is you. The people who put up the backwards hand. Not this way, but this way. As if they were royalty. But I just never understood. Maybe it's just a lazy thing, because I can understand if you're sitting down on a desk or leaning down, and someone's your professor asks you a question, and then your natural reaction goes from here to here. That's fine. But when you're leaning back or reclining in a chair, and you're just like, yes, I do have the answer. If you would come over this way, I would walk you. Anyway, well, if you don't have those people in your class, now you're going to be looking for them, so you can thank me later for that. But I love people watching, and so that's the bulk of my stories are going to be about people in my class, or people that I experienced. So you may view one of my stories someday. We can really cherish that together. But, all right, so we do have some announcements. First of which, okay. So, yes, if you couldn't guess, this is not our home for Cru. We're on a temporary vacation this week and next week. We're normally in Main Hall 168. I'm sure most of you know where that is. If not, it's in a quad. It's a big, huge building where you do have class essentially. That's our home. And so, thank you guys for making the voyage over tonight. And we're going to ask you to do it as well next week. But then after that, for the rest of the semester, we will be at Maine We'll be comfortably reclining in our massive room there, and we won't be smushed or doing anything else. So I just want to let you guys know we'll be back to normal in 2 weeks. But next week, what we're thinking is we're going to be in Brandywine 33, and cross your fingers because we're actually hoping to make Cru outside next week. Now, if it doesn't happen, I don't want to get hung for it, okay? Don't shoot me message. I'm throwing this out there. We're working on it very diligently, so we can actually have it in the residential plot between Brandywine and U-Haul and Allegheny. So that would be optimal, saying that the weather is great and everything. But regardless, I'm going to be close to Brandywine, so that's where you're going to be going. In a little bit, I'm going to have you fill out the cards. You didn't fill them out last week, and I'm also going to have you do follow us on Twitter. And you don't need a Twitter account for that. I'll explain that in a second. But that's just an easy way for us to get you information about upcoming stuff rather than having to track down 230 some odd people. Is that what you're doing? So that's the first announcement. The second is Freedom Fest. Okay, that's coming up not tomorrow, but next Friday. And we have a chapter here called IJM, which is International Justice Mission. Do you have any people there? Yeah, there you go. And so they are partnering with this Freedom Fest, and basically it's just a huge event that's going to be going on at, if you guys are familiar where Providence Church is, that's where it's going to be held. And it's going to be next Friday, like I said. I don't know if I put the address there, or if you can see it, but it says 430 Ham Avenue. It's like 2-3 minutes away by car. Basically, this event, all the proceeds they make are going to be going directly to a firm in, I want to say Romania, that helps deal with women that are being sex trafficked, and also and stuff like that. And so it's a really great cause. I think it would be a really fun event for you guys to go. I'll be there. I know a bunch of other people here would be there as well. And it's just a really good cause to really kind of put yourself behind. And so if you have time next Friday, that would be great. If you need information, is that Cody over here? Or Maury, okay. That fine gentleman, the finely bearded gentleman over there, will be your contact person. So if you need information or need a flyer or anything like that, please do. Alright, next announcement. Alright, so Simone and Allie, if you mind coming up real quick, they're just going to briefly describe what this is about.
And I'm a senior here at Westchester. And I'm Simone, because I'm also a senior here. We just wanted to talk to you guys for a minute about the winter retreat. It's called the Midwinter Dance for Keswick. Westchester has the opportunity to lead a weekend there. And basically what it is it's a winter retreat. It has 7 different weekends that are all led by different colleges. And it takes place in Whiting, New Jersey. The mission of the whole retreat is for teenagers to hear the gospel of Jesus Christ, accept the atoning work of Christ crucified, and commit to new life in the resurrected Christ as Savior and Lord. Westchester had the opportunity to lead their first weekend last year, and God put together an awesome crew, it's up there, all 10 of us, that we led the weekend, and it was an amazing time. So we've been asked to go back this year, lead a weekend for middle and high school students. It's in February, which seems like a long time away, but we have to put a team together by October. So Allie's going to tell you more about what we do while we're there. So if you're interested at all, also we're going to have a sign-up list. We're sitting right back there near the clock. Kind of near where John got this. So we're right back there. So you can see us afterwards, and we'll have a more detailed meeting if you actually are interested in coming on the trip with weeks to follow. Basically, we're looking for 10 students in even as possible match of guys and girls. We lead small group Bible studies while we're there. We are in charge of basically the entire weekend. So we bring the message, we're praise and worship band, we're kind of the whole thing. So it's really cool to see. You can see the picture of us last year. We all didn't really know each other that well before we left, but God totally worked through us. We had tons of planning, but the second we got there, it was just Holy Spirit intervening to make it all work. And it was an awesome experience. Skits, music, it's just a lot of fun. It's really cool to see and meet younger brothers and sisters in Christ and use the gifts that God has given you to truly glorify Him through these kids. So if you're at all interested, please come and see us after Cru is over. Sign up, and we'll have a more detailed meeting in weeks to follow. So thank you for letting us steal some time.
Yep. one more announcement. Just kidding. Yep. All right, well, I'm going to make the announcement then. All right. Can everyone take their phone out real quick? Laura Metzler, are you in the building? All right, Laura, what is the number? Is it 40040? So 04040. Okay, so every other 0, there's a 4. I'll repeat this. But basically, what you do, and Laura, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, we have a Twitter system with Cru. Stop calling me Jeremy. You goofball, you. So basically, we have a Twitter system that allows us to essentially send text to you about information that's pertinent to you. So like, for instance, if next week we don't have the destination completely set. Yes, Laura. Alright. You hold that thought. So we have this system, and basically we'll text you. So like for next week, if you sign up for this, you put a text on either Thursday afternoon or Wednesday night, and you're like, hey, by the way, Cru's going to be at this spot. That way you're not lost. Okay? And so it takes 2 seconds. It's really helpful. I believe what you do is you text follow to what number? 40404. And then just send it like a normal text message. You don't need Twitter. I don't have Twitter. I have a dinosaur phone. I don't have Twitter. And so it just comes to those of us who don't have Twitters as a text. To those WCU Crusade. Yeah, so follow WCU Crusade. Guys, if you do have a Twitter, it's WCU Crusade, and you can just follow them. I don't really know how Twitter works, so yeah. So 40404. Boom. WCU Crusade. I think so. Guys, don't forget the @ symbol before WCU Crusade either. The all-important @ symbol. Alright, so while the rest of you are figuring that out, we're going to play a little game real quick. And by game, I mean we're going to have an interview. And so, basically what this is going to do is, where's Ryan Fisher? Ryan, you're going to be our first contestant. You don't really have a choice. So basically how this interview is going to work is I'm going to pick 4 random people in addition to Ryan, and I'm going to ask you awkward and borderline inappropriate questions in order to get to know you a little bit better. But don't worry, I'll break you guys in easily. So can I have 4 more volunteers who don't mind getting grilled a little bit? Yeah, all right. There's 1, 2, 3, and then Peter. Alright, so here's how we're going to work next. First of all, we're going to introduce everybody. That way you can get to know them. We're going to tell them serious information about, or they're going to tell you serious information about themselves. And then we're going to get their stance on some really key philosophical issues. So, alright, Ryan, what's your name and what do you do here?
My name is Ryan Fisher, and I do history.
Yeah. Well, for you specifically, Ryan's one of our student directors this year. So, Ryan, what role do you serve with Cru specifically?
Well, I do Twitter and help organize different events and stuff like that.
So, he's the Grandmaster Tweet right here. So this is Ryan, and we will get to you, fair, maidens, and dude. So, all right, Ryan, here's your key question. I'm just going to ask you guys one for the sake of time, but I think this is going to be really revealing about like kind of where you are as a human being. And while I say we're not going to judge you, secretly we are. So, all right, Ryan, here's my question for you. If corn oil is made from corn, vegetable oil is made from vegetables, what's baby oil made out of?
Infants. Baby seals.
You're sick either way. You're a sick human being. Go sit down, please. Go sit down. Doesn't deserve an applause. He's essentially supporting infant killing. Or baby seals, which are essentially the same thing. You know, that was a joke. Alright, so what's your name? And what grade are you in? Like you're in high school. 15th grade now. So what year are you and what's your name?
I'm Nicole, I'm a freshman, and I'm a middle grade education teacher.
We're clearly cooler than all of us. Alright, so here's my philosophical question for you. How do you feel about men in dresses? Is it ever okay?
No.
This is awkward now. Alright, are you sure?
Yes.
It's never okay. Like not even at Halloween, like dressing up as Cinderella or anything like that? How do you feel about Mulan?
What does that have to do with this?
Yeah, it's a different ethnic group. I don't know. Okay, we'll let you go. Thank you very much. So what's your name, what's your year, what's your major?
I'm Rachel, I'm a freshman, and I am really great.
There you go, there you go. So you get to be with us. Fair enough. More power to you. Alright, so here's my question for you. How important does a person have to be considered assassinated as opposed to just murdered?
How important?
Where do we draw the line?
Well, I think that if you're... well, if you think about it, assassinations are monuments in history, so you have to be someone who influences history in one way or another. So, I mean, obviously we all know JFK was assassinated because he was our president, but there may be other assassinations in a smaller scale because they're, thank God. But, no one else will be carrying it as the
That was really thorough. I'm impressed. Clearly you've had enough time to think about this issue before, and it's way more on your heart. So I'm glad that you wrestled through this. My definition is just going to be 2,000 Facebook friends or more. That would be the cutoff for me. But I like your definition better. Yours would go on a textbook. Mine would just be kind of like a rule of thumb. So, alright. Oh, you have something else to add?
No.
Alright. A scholar of assassination. Alright. So same deal. What's your name? What year are you? What major? Yeah, hello.
Sophomore, and I'm a dual major, special education and early grades.
That's awesome. That's good. Alright, so my philosophical question for you is, how do you feel about women paying for a date?
Paying for a date.
Is that ever okay?
I mean, is it ever okay for... Wait, do you mean like a week?
If you and I were on a date right now, and we had a bill for standing here, is it assumed that I would have to pay for it? Or would it ever be okay for me to be like, yeah, do you have this one?
I think there's a difference saying, yeah, you have this one, or me being like, hey, let me get this book for you. There's a really big difference.
That's fair. What if the girl is more manly than you?
Are you saying that I'm more manly than you?
Yeah, no. love trying with that. Yeah. Sorry, third wheeling's not the worst thing. Alright, so would it ever be okay if it wasn't me? Like if you actually were the man here, then that would be what we want to be with. I'm sincerely curious.
Once again, are you saying me weirder than mine?
Yes.
I mean, I would like the man that can handle me. So if I'm manlier than him, then that might be a problem.
So you're saying what It's so there. Alright. Thank you for your honesty. Alright, my dude. Thanks for being patient. They're willing to imaginary date. That's fun. It is getting juicy over here. I can't help it. Alright, so what's your name, what's your major, and what's what you're doing?
My name's Peter Rivera. And my major is International Relations and Affairs, and I'm a sophomore. And
So my question for you is, what's your stance on skinny dipping?
what you do when no one's looking is your business.
Alright, so I like that answer. A follow-up that I had, is skinny dipping just for skinny people? Like, I don't consider myself skinny, but I'd be allowed to dip.
Everyone has the right to do anything.
I appreciate that about you.
When you dream big,
That is a dream of mine. Alright, thank you so much, dude. Alright guys, thanks for playing along. We'll have more adventures like that throughout the semester, I'm sure. So you guys can be thinking about these questions that you probably thought you'd never had to think about before. And that way you'll be prepared. Kind of like that one girl who really thought about assassination. Right? I think that's great. You should always be ready. She'd be great in like a Miss America pageant. Because they ask you the most obscure questions. She'd just be like, I got this.